Good morning, everyone. Today, I want you to take a moment and think deeply about this powerful statement. Keep grinding. The world will know your name. It's not just a phrase, it's a promise that if you stay consistent, keep pushing forward, and refuse to give up, the world will eventually take notice. But here's the truth, grinding isn't easy. It's messy, it's exhausting, and it often feels like no one is watching. Every great success story starts with someone who refused to stop when things got tough. So let me ask you this, are you ready to grind until your name becomes unforgettable? Let's start by understanding what it means to grind. Grinding isn't just working hard, it's working smart, relentlessly, and with purpose. It's waking up every day with a fire in your belly, knowing that every small step you take brings you closer to your dreams. Take Serena Williams, for example. She didn't become one of the greatest tennis players in history by accident. She spent countless hours on the court, perfecting her technique, even when no one was watching. She endured injuries, criticism, and setbacks, but she kept grinding. And today, the world knows her name because of her relentless determination. Now let's talk about why grinding matters so much. In life, there are two types of people, those who wait for opportunities and those who create them. The difference between the two is simple grit. Grit is the ability to push through challenges, to keep going when others would quit. Think about J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she faced rejection after rejection from publishers. She was a single mother living on welfare, struggling to make ends meet. But she didn't stop writing. She kept grinding, kept believing in her story, and eventually the world took notice. Her name is now synonymous with magic, creativity, and perseverance. But here's the thing about grinding. It's not glamorous. There will be days when you feel like giving up, days when the progress seems slow, the sacrifices feel heavy, and the rewards seem distant. Then you need to remind yourself why you started. Why are you grinding? Is it to provide a better future for your family, to prove to yourself that you're capable of greatness, or to leave a legacy that inspires others? Whatever your reason, hold on to it tightly. Let it fuel your fire when the road gets tough. Let me share a personal story with you. A few years ago, I decided to pursue a passion project that I had been dreaming about for years. At first, it was exciting, but soon reality hit. I had to sacrifice weekends, late nights, and even relationships with friends who couldn't understand why I was so committed. There were moments when I doubted myself, when I wondered if all the effort was worth it. But I kept reminding myself of my why. I reminded myself that every hour I invested, every obstacle I overcame was bringing me closer to my goal. And you know what? Eventually, the world noticed. My project gained traction. People started reaching out, and opportunities began pouring in. It wasn't luck. It was the result of grinding consistently day after day, even when it felt like no one was paying attention. The truth is, the world doesn't owe you anything. Success isn't handed to you on a silver platter. You have to earn it. And the only way to do that is by putting in the work, showing up, even when it's hard, and trusting the process. Take Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, for example. Before he became one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood, he was cut from the Canadian Football League and struggled to make ends meet. He worked odd jobs, lived in a tiny apartment, and faced countless rejections. But he kept grinding. He stayed focused on his goals, built his brand, and eventually the world knew his name. His story reminds us that success is not about where you start. It's about how hard you're willing to work to get to where you want to be. Now, let's talk about consistency. Grinding isn't just about working hard. It's about working consistently. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Think about bamboo trees. When you plant a bamboo seed, it doesn't sprout immediately. For the first 4 years, you won't see any visible growth above the ground. But during that time, the roots are growing deep and strong beneath the surface. Then the 5th year, the bamboo shoots up to 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Success works the same way. The effort you put in today may not yield immediate results, but it lays the foundation for future growth. Stay patient, stay persistent, trust the process. Let me challenge you with this. What'd you attempt if you knew the world would eventually know your name? Would you start that business, pursue that degree, write that book, travel the world? Whatever it is, I want you to write it down. Then ask yourself, what's stopping you? Is it fear, doubt, comfort? Once you identify the barriers, you can begin to break them down one step at a time. Remember, the world rewards action, not excuses. Let's talk about the fears that hold us back. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These are the invisible chains that prevent us from pursuing our dreams. But here's the truth. Fear is natural. Everyone experiences it, even most successful people. The difference is that successful people don't let fear stop them. They embrace it, use it as fuel, and keep moving forward. Take Elon Musk, for example. Before Tesla and space became household names, he faced countless failures and near bankruptcies. He risked everything, poured his heart and soul into his vision, and kept grinding despite the odds. Today, his name is synonymous with innovation and ambition. His story teaches us that fear is just a stepping stone on the path to greatness. Now let's talk about the power of belief. Believing in yourself is one of the most important ingredients for success. When you believe in yourself, you inspire others to believe in you too. Think about Muhammad Ali. He didn't just believe he was the greatest, he declared it to the world. Even when others doubted him, he stayed true to his vision. He trained harder, fought smarter, and eventually the world crowned him the greatest boxer of all time. His confidence wasn't arrogance, it was self-belief. And that's what you need to cultivate within yourself. Believe in your potential, trust your abilities, and keep grinding until the world acknowledges your greatness. Let's dive deeper into the philosophy of grinding. Grinding is not just about physical effort. It's also about mental resilience. It's about training your mind to focus on solutions instead of problems, to see opportunities instead of obstacles. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Every setback he faced was a lesson, a stepping stone toward his ultimate goal. His persistence led to the invention of the light bulb, which changed the world forever. His story reminds us that grinding is not just about doing, it's about learning, adapting, and evolving. Now, let's talk about the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. Grinding can feel lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who push you to be better, and who celebrate your wins. Think about Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Together, they co-founded in a garage. They supported each other, challenged each other, and eventually built one of the most valuable companies in the world. Their partnership shows us that success is often a team effort. Find your tribe, the people who will cheer you on when the world feels silent. Let me share another story about the power of community. A close friend of mine, David, wanted to run a marathon. He had never been a runner before, but he was determined to achieve his goal. He joined a local running group where he met people who shared his passion. They encouraged him, pushed him, and held him accountable. On race day, David crossed the finish line with tears in his eyes. Not just because he had accomplished something incredible, but because he had done it with the support of others. His story reminds us that grinding doesn't have to be a solo journey. Find your people and let them help you shine. Now, let's talk about the role of gratitude in grinding. Gratitude is the secret ingredient to sustaining motivation and finding joy in the journey. When you're grateful for what you have, you're less likely to feel deprived when you make sacrifices. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you're gaining. Take time every day to reflect on the blessings in your life. Celebrate small victories along the way. Surround yourself with positive influences. Gratitude will keep you grounded and motivated, even when the road gets tough. Let's explore the concept of fulfillment further. Fulfillment's from knowing that you've given your best, that you pushed yourself beyond your limits, and that you've stayed true to your values. It's about living a life of purpose and meaning. Take Viktor Frankl, for example. He was a Holocaust survivor who endured unimaginable suffering in Nazi concentration camps. Yet he found meaning in his pain and used to help others. He wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning, which has inspired millions of people worldwide. His story teaches us that even in the darkest moments, grinding can lead to profound fulfillment. Let me ask you this. What is your purpose? What drives you to wake up every morning and give your best? Without a clear sense of purpose, grinding can feel meaningless. But when you connect your efforts to a greater mission, they become easier to endure. Your purpose gives you strength when times are tough and clarity when you're lost. So take a moment to reflect. What is your purpose? Write it down. Keep it close to your heart. Let it guide you through the grind. Now, let's talk about the importance of celebrating progress. Too often, we focus so much on the destination that we forget to appreciate the journey. But here's the truth. Every step forward is worth celebrating. Whether it's completing a small task, overcoming a fear, or achieving a milestone, take time to acknowledge your progress. It will keep you motivated and remind you how far you've come. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She didn't become a media mogul overnight. She celebrated every win along the way. Her first job as a news anchor, her first talk show, her first big interview. Each victory fueled her drive to keep going. Her story reminds us that success is a series of small wins that add up over time. Let me challenge you with this. Start a progress journal. Every day, write down one thing you accomplished, no matter how small. Did you wake up early? Check. Did you complete a task? Check. Did you push through a tough moment? Check. Over time, you'll see how much you've grown and how much closer you are to your goals. Celebrating progress will keep you motivated and remind you that your grind is worth it. Now, let's talk about the power of visualization. Visualization is a tool used by some of the most successful people in the world. It's about seeing your success in your mind before it happens in reality. Take Jim Carrey, for example. Before he became a famous actor, he wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered and dated it for 5 years in the future. He carried that check in his wallet every day, visualizing his success. 5 years later, he earned $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. His story reminds us that what you focus on expands. Visualize your success daily, and it will become your reality. Let's talk about the role of discipline in grinding. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Take Kobe Bryant, for example. He famously woke up at 4 a.m. to practice basketball every day. He called it his Mamba mentality. His discipline set him apart from others and made him one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Show up every day, even when it's hard, and you'll see results over time. Let me share another story about discipline. A young woman named Sarah wanted to lose weight and get fit. She started by setting small, achievable goals, walking for 15 minutes a day, then increasing it to 30 minutes, then adding strength training. She followed a strict routine even when she didn't feel motivated. Over time, she transformed her body and her mindset. Her discipline paid off when she completed her first fitness competition and won. Her story reminds us that discipline is the key to unlocking your potential. Now, let's talk about the importance of patience. Patience is the ability to wait for your efforts to bear fruit without getting discouraged. Take Warren Buffett, for example. He didn't become one of the richest men in the world overnight. He invested wisely, stayed patient, and let compound interest work its magic. His wealth grew exponentially over decades, not months or years. Patience is a virtue that separates the successful from the rest. Trust the process, stay patient, and your grind will pay off. Let me leave you with this thought. Every great achievement in history started with someone who refused to quit. Every invention, every masterpiece, every record-breaking performance was born out of relentless effort and unwavering determination. The world may not notice your grind right away, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it. Keep showing up, keep pushing forward, and keep believing in yourself, because one day the world will know your name, not because of luck, but because of the blood, sweat, and tears you poured into your dreams. So I want to ask you again, are you ready to grind? Are you ready to put in the work day after day until your name becomes unforgettable? If the answer is yes, then start today. Start small, but start now. Take one step toward your goal, and then another, and then another. Build momentum. Stay consistent. And remember, the world rewards those who refuse to give up. In conclusion, keep grinding. The world will know your name. Not because you're lucky, but because you're relentless. You're unstoppable. You're determined to leave your mark on the world. So go out there and prove it. Show the world you're made of. Thank you for listening. Now, it's time to take action. The world is waiting. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Success Mindset.